When humans are confronted with opposing viewpoints, we instinctively feel attacked. The prospect of admitting we might be wrong creates a sense of vulnerability, causing psychological walls to form and harden. These hardwired defense mechanisms ensure that changing someone's mind or convincing them of a new idea is inherently difficult. It is a biological resistance to vulnerability. Over 2,300 years ago, the Greek philosopher Aristotle devised a specific strategic framework to solve this problem and bypass human resistance. Mastering Aristotle's method moves beyond the mechanics of an argument. It is a system for hacking and bypassing the hardwired resistance to change. His framework is built on a persuasion triad of 3 interconnected rhetorical appeals: ethos, logos, and pathos. Each pillar has a specific target. Ethos targets the speaker, logos targets the message, and pathos targets the audience. Simply knowing the definitions is not enough to deploy the triad. You must understand the specific, actionable detail types hidden within each pillar. Ethos is the appeal to the speaker's character, credibility, and authority. It is designed to answer the primary, internal, skeptical question every audience asks when a conversation begins: why should I listen to you? A speaker builds ethos using distinct details, stating credentials, maintaining a formal tone, citing professional background, using jargon, and appealing to shared values. A doctor endorsing a specific medical treatment after 20 years of clinical practice establishes immediate competence through direct professional experience. Alternatively, a former head of state advocating for a dietary policy borrows from their established public reputation to command authority on a new topic. Trust functions as an essential prerequisite for human attention. Without establishing ethos first, audiences will often dismiss the argument entirely, regardless of how strong the actual evidence is. Logos is the appeal to reason, logic, and rationality. It delivers the straight facts of an argument. You construct logos using explicit research, expert quotes, verifiable facts, and quantitative data like percentages and fractions. Consider a mundane, everyday object like a candy bar to see how logos turns physical objects into explicit evidence. This chart quantifies the data. A single Snickers bar contains 280 calories and 30 grams of sugar. By applying this specific data, you force the logical conclusion that the snack is unhealthy. While ethos gets an audience to listen, logos provides the objective, structural foundation that prevents the argument from being dismantled. Pathos is the appeal to the audience's internal emotions. It uses feelings, from fear and anger to joy and patriotism, to bridge the gap between abstract concepts and personal reality. Pathos deploys specific toolboxes: emotionally loaded diction, vivid sensory imagery, and figurative language. Notice the difference. A literal statement describes a cloudy day. A pathos-enhanced statement paints a cold gray day with a granite sky, forcing an emotional connection. In high-stakes situations, a charity campaign will leverage vivid imagery of a vulnerable, freezing puppy. They use pathos to bypass logic and evoke an immediate sense of pity that compels a donor to act. Logic can prove that a point is correct, but emotion provides the final motivation required to turn a factual proof into a personal decision to change behavior. Relying on a single appeal often leads to failure. A message built purely on ethos can seem arrogant. One that relies entirely on logos risks information overload. And an argument driven only by pathos can become manipulative and unethical. Effective persuasion is a synthesis. You must actively build trust, prove your point with data, and compel action with emotion, all at the same time. Mastering this triad gives you the power to make your own voice heard. It also arms you with a critical defense mechanism, allowing you to spot exactly when a message is designed to hack your mind.